Hello everyone, this is Enable Knight here, and I'm going to kind of show y'all how to do a basic setup of That's My Biz, get everything set up. So the biggest thing first you're going to want to have set up is, or pulled up on the internet is that'smybiz.com. This will be the landing page here. Then in another tab, you are going to want to open wowtbc.gg. This is where we're going to be getting all of our items from as a basic starting point for getting set up. So what we're going to do first is hit sign in with Discord. It's okay. It's all right. What we'll do is have you authorize it. This is how you get tied to work in progress, as you can see here. That way, the officers and the raid leaders are able to see what the loot is for everybody on raid night. So we're going to go ahead and hit join guild. And then we'll get to this screen here. You can see here, and this is my character, and this is the guild we're in, and then we're going to go ahead and hit create a character. This part's pretty simple to walk through, so you'll put your character's name in and whoever you're rating for. So I'm going to make this for Enable Nature because I have already made That's My Biz for Enable Knight. So we'll set up my class as a shaman. I'm going to be a healer, and I'm going to be resto. I'm also going to set it up to be Draenei at level 80. You don't have to worry about raid groups. Everything should be set up fine. And you'll go ahead and hit save. So once you get your character set up, we're then brought to this page, and we can start making our That's My Biz list. So to get started on making your list, you'll click on the little pencil icon here next to the 25-man phase 1. We'll go ahead and click on that. And then now we can start adding, and this is where the website wowtbc.gg will come in handy. So we'll come over here. We'll go to BIS lists. And since I'm making this list for my shaman, I will go to restoration. So the way this is set up is it has everything that is your BIS for the very first phase. So what you'll do when you're setting up your armor list for your character, let's start with the headpiece. You'll actually click on this down arrow here, and it shows the top 6 pieces for your character being both 10 and 25 man. Obviously you'll notice a lot of it is 25 man gear, which is perfect. So thy first piece here is showing that it is my tier piece, which is Valorous Earthshatter headpiece. But what we know, what's important about that is we don't want to actually put this piece in, and I can show you that it will actually take this piece and saying, oh, this is what you want. So as raid leaders and officers have said, we don't actually want the piece of armor that is there. We want the token piece, so we can pull that. Let me pull that up here so I can get that. Okay, so for the headpiece, looks like it's going to be crown of the, and I don't, and see, we can look here. So for mine, it's going to be crown of the Lost Protector. I think that's actually the phase 2, or let's see. Yeah, crown of the Lost Protector is the 25-man one. So that's the first piece I'm going to put. The second piece is from another 25-man raid. It's going to be this headpiece of reconciliation here from Acidium Sanctum. We're just going to go ahead and copy that over as well, because we're not doing it per raid. We are doing it per grouping. So you're going to have only 2 lists. You're going to have your 25-man list, which is every 25-man raid that can be run currently, and then the 10-man list that can be run currently. So we'll go ahead and we'll fill out a couple more items for my 25-man list, and then I'll show you how we can swap back over to the 10-man list. So we'll go back over here. Say if I'm okay, we'll add one more piece, one more headpiece from Nax. The way I have 3 chances to get a headpiece here. And the reason I say I have 3 chances is because when loot drops, the officer or the loot master will take a look at your list and see if you've got the item on your list. If you've got the item on your list, then you are then eligible for it. So we've got our head pieces. Next, we're going to go down to the neck pieces. Oh, looks like our top one is the quest reward. We're going to skip that right now because the quest reward is a little bit different at the moment. We're giving that to officers and who are in raid leaders. That way we can make sure that everybody gets into the Eye of Eternity like normal. So my next one is the Cosmic Lights that comes out of Naxxramas. So we can just type it in, Cosmic Lights, click on it, and it pops up into the list. And we just do the same thing, pretty much down the line. Change of iterations next. Oh, the quest reward for to get the key to the Eye of Eternity. We'll skip that one. We'll go to Ceaseless Pity, and so on and so forth. What we are recommending, the raid leaders and officers are recommending, is put everything down from this website into your That's My Best list. That way you get the max opportunity to get what you want for your gear. Because any upgrade is a good upgrade. So here's shoulders. Oh, we've got another shoulder piece, which is part of my set. So the shoulder piece for that is Spalders. Spalders of the, I think, Lost Protector. Lost Protector. Yep. And so that puts that into the list, and this is all, and that's how you get the tier pieces. Is so we have the tokens. Because the token, the actual what armor doesn't drop, the tier pieces is or the token is what drops from the boss. And then it's pretty much rinse and repeat from there. We'll add 2 or 3 more shoulders to the list to make sure that my list is nice and rounded out from multiple raids. As we see, there's more Extending of Sanctum ones. Here's one from Eye of Eternity that drops that I will use. And then another Naxxramas one. So it looks like most of mine actually come from Extending of Sanctum. So I still want to put those on there. Because, like I said, there's a 125-man list and 110-man list. And then we'll skip over this because it's the same rinse and repeat. Each one gives you 6 different options to choose from, each coming from different raids. Some even showing from tailoring, from getting it from a vendor. As of course, if you notice, most of the stuff is coming from 25-man raids, which will give you your best in slot stuff. If you need some help with the 10-man slot stuff, let us reach out to any officer or raid leader, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Last thing I'm going to do is weapons. There's a good amount of weapons here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring some over. It looks like I saw some from Naxxramas, from Eye of Eternity. So then again, just copy and paste over. So we can just get a few in there for this demonstration. Okay. Oh, I did a 10-man. So I accidentally if you notice, I accidentally put in a 10-man weapon in my 25-man list. Hammer of Astral Plane drops off the Kelsazad from next 10. So what I'll do is I'll just take it, I will get rid of that because I don't want that hurting my chances later on. So we've got basically what we want for my Restoration Shaman. I've got a few pieces here and there. So next part, once you get everything copied over for one of the raids, whether it be 10 man or 25, you want to create your priority. So at the top is the highest priority. So let's say I want my weapon as soon as possible. It's the most important thing I want. I want this Torch of Holy Fire. It's the very first thing I want. So you'll hover over the 6 squares here and just drag it up to the top. It's the very first thing I want, so I'll make it number 1. Say if I want my Spalders next, my shoulder token, I will just move that up to number 2. And I think I'm going to keep the head token number 3, but I may split up the headpiece and I say I want a neck piece fourth. So I'll move a neck piece in the fourth one. So once you figure out how you want to receive your gear as far as top to bottom, how you want to be labeled in priority, the biggest thing to do is to make sure you hit the save button here at the bottom. You hit save, that way you can make sure that your list is saved and all your work is not gone. So once you hit save, you can actually see the numbers here on the left hand side. It shows the priority that you want the gear. So as I said earlier, Torch of Holy Fire was first. It's the most important thing that I want out of there. So I'll go ahead and grab it, put it number 1. That way, if no one else has it in that number 1 slot, I'm guaranteed to get it. Now, a rule that Work in Progress and the officers have come up with, if 2 or more people have the same item in the same slot, it will then go to a roll-off just like it has in previous past. The higher person will get it. Okay, now you're saying enable. What about 10-man groups? So what we'll do, in order to do the 10-man raid, we'll click on that edit icon again. But then what we'll do is we're up here where it says 10-man or 25-man phase 1. We'll click on it, and we'll go to 10-man phase 1. Now, it doesn't matter that the list is inactive, because what the list is inactive and active depends on what raid is being run that night. So we'll start back up from the headpiece again. So here's one. It's the 10-man piece it's the 10-man headpiece that comes out of Naxxramas, which is the Helm of the Lost. Let's see here. Sorry, I thought I was going to Helm of the Lost Protector is what I have there. So I'll put that as my number 1. So for this one, it can get a little tricky. Like I said, if you ever need help with your 10-man, please feel free to reach out to an officer or a raid leader or anyone in the guild. That way we can help you set up your 10-man, because a lot of the 25-man gear will be better. So as far as this list goes, for YTBC, I only have one in the top 6 for my 10-man. So I'll go to the next one. Looks like Pendant of the Lost Vocations is my next one. A couple bosses drop it in 10-man. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste it over as well. And as you can see, it's the same thing, just as you did for 25-man, as it is for 10-man. You're just looking for this 10 or 25 to know which list to put it in. So we see here in the bracers, there's actually none there. This one's actually telling me that a Sunwell Plateau is the best, which is very interesting that it says that. So for this situation, I would reach out to a raid leader or officer, and just have them help me. Hey, what 10-man drops are good for me as a resto shaman? And so I would have them help me, sometime during the week and get that taken care of. Same thing looks like here with the gloves. All the good gloves come out of 25-man. And like I said, that's okay. We're here to help you, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. So it looks like the next thing is some pants that come out of 10-man that drop from the Grand Widow. So we'll go ahead and copy paste that over as well. So we've got a few items here. Say this is all I want out of Nax 10. There's only these 4 pieces that I want. And we'll keep everything the same there. That's the priority I want them on. We can hit save. Okay, so once you're saved, you won't actually be able to see it until the raid leader, one of the raid leaders or officers changes the active list. So they're able to go in and change the active list so like they can see it here on the front page. Now, what happens if you decide you want to change your list, or if you receive something and you want to go ahead and take everything off your list that you no longer want? So let's say in Nax 25, I decided that I got, or not I decided, but I happened to get the Spalders of Lost Protector here. What I can then do is I can hit the edit button. And what will happen is this will actually be marked received by the Loot Master. But these other 3 or other four actually, these other four shoulder pieces are still on there. What you'll want to do is you'll want to actually just take them completely off your list because you will no longer want those, and they're not necessary anymore. So once I get those marked off, I will then hit save, and that changes the list. And see, now my ceaseless pity here is now higher up on the list because I got rid of those shoulders. Now for some of you that are wanting to run a dual spec, or whether it be a tank healer, etc. So let's say for enable nature, I am now wanting to run. I'm wanting to do some enhancement as my DPS. So what we'll do from there is we'll just change my spec to enhancement, and now I can start to see enhancement gear. So it looks like a few more pieces drop out of the next 10 here. So we'll take the first headpiece here. We're going to take this Helm of the Vast Legions. So in order to edit it, we'll click on the little pencil mark there. We'll go to the 10-man list, and we'll add it. Helm of the Vast Legions. Now, this is a off-spec headpiece. So the biggest thing is you want to put your off-spec stuff at the bottom and check mark off-spec. This lets the loot master know that you are putting that in there for an off-spec role that you not necessarily don't prefer to play, but you're playing secondary. Because there are times where you'll swap back and forth depending on the needs of the guild. And so, like I don't know if you saw that there, I tried to switch back to the 25-man list. It let me know I forgot to save it. So biggest thing is to make sure you save each time you make a change. That way your list is staying up to date at all times. That is pretty much the basics, all the basics I could go over for That's My Biz. If you have any questions or any concerns or anything, like I said, reach out to an officer. We'll try to address everything. And we will do our best to answer any and all questions, concerns, comments that come with That's My Biz. And I hope this kind of helped to how to fill out the list to the best of your ability.